This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
这是我。
This is me.
This is me.
And this is us.
Us. I am your host, Blind Justice. And as always, I have one of these great interviewees so I can give you guys a little bit of insight into their life and their story and see what they have to tell us. So today is no exception. Today I have on Montse. Am I saying your name correct?
Yeah, close. It's Montses, but it's close. It's okay.
Well, okay, well, good. This is the opportunity for us to get to know a little bit more, like name and all that other good stuff, right?
There you go, exactly.
See? So see, y'all will be learning just like me. So we'll be learning together, everybody. So yeah. So like always, we're gonna go ahead and get all the formalities out of the way. If you'll tell us your name, your age, and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Montses, also known everywhere as Montses One Sweetie. I am 33, gonna be 34 tomorrow. Actually, my birthday's tomorrow, and I am from sunny, hot ASS, California.
Well, first off, happy early birthday. You know, if I haven't said
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, so happy early birthday to you. Hopefully you celebrate and enjoy and all that good stuff.
Thank you.
So, outside of that, what is the nature of your blindness? How long have you been dealing with it? And how would you describe it to somebody who really doesn't know a lot about blindness?
Okay, well, I lost my sight 15 years ago to a gunshot. I was a victim of a drive-by, and I got shot with a 45. I don't know, too many people know about guns, but the ones I do is a 45, so they're kind of big bullets. I was 18. This was in September of 2006, and when I got shot, I was with my boyfriend and my friends, you know, of course, how that goes.
Right.
The detectives called my mom to let her know, you know, that I had gotten shot and stuff like that. So she went to the hospital, and they didn't know how bad it was because I was drunk, you know, I was out having fun. So they wanted time to go by to see if I were to survive or not. So once so many hours went by, I think it was like 72 hours or something like that, that went by. And that's when they told my parents, like, okay, we're going to go in, we're going to see what we can do, you know, how bad it is.
Right.
So they knew it was somewhere in my face, head area, but they weren't sure, you know, what it had damaged or what was affected by it. So when they went in, they told my mom, like, it damaged, you know, her face, you know, it went through the temple. But we're going to try to save one of her eyes. So my mom was like, okay, you know, so they did surgery. They actually cut my head from one side to the other side.
Oh, my goodness.
Like from ear to ear, you could say. Pulled my skin down, and that's when they seen the damage. One of the bullets busted my right eyeball, literally like busted the whole eyeball. And it burned the back of my left eye. So from the outside, they thought they were going to be able to save my left eye because that side of my face didn't seem that damaged. But when they went in, they seen it was more than what they were even expecting. The bullet itself damaged my optic nerve. So that's the reason why, because a lot of people ask, like, why don't you get an eye transplant? I'm not sure, you know about that or heard about that, but people do that. They do get eye transplant.
Right.
But I can't because it also damaged my optic nerve. So that's why I wasn't able to do that. So they had to remove both of my eyes. I had a metal plate placed on my forehead because the bullet damaged that bone. Like, my brain was literally falling through my eye socket. That's how bad it was. So that's how I lost my sight. That was 15 years ago. It was hard. It was extremely hard in the beginning because, like I said, I was only 18. So I thought my life was over. You know, I've never met nobody blind. Blindness was not something that even crossed my mind. You know what I mean? Honestly, to be honest, growing up. So when I lost my sight, I thought life was over. Like, that was it. You know, what kind of life was I going to have? I even told my boyfriend that was with me at the time, who is actually still with me now, like, to leave me. I was like, leave, you don't deserve this, you're too young for this, you can find somebody who can, do for you. I'm not able to do anything anymore. And but that was a sad time, but it was the extreme opposite. You know what I mean? Like, I'm living now, I have kids now, I'm still with my boyfriend, who was at the time now my husband. I've learned how to take care of myself, how to take care of them, how to continue with life. So I would tell people who lose their sight, who are losing their sight, like, don't give up, don't give up, don't think it's over, don't think it's the end, because not only me, but other people that I have met on TikTok, we all live our lives. Honestly, we do, and some of us even better than the sighted people.
Amen.
So, life is never over. We do things different and we do things in our own way, but we get things done.
That's right. So for people who are totally blind, like myself, how would you describe yourself? Like, physically, how would you describe yourself?
Okay, physically, I am 5'5".
Okay.
So that's like average height for women. I'm not too short, but I'm not tall.
Okay.
I'm a plus size, voluptuous, beautiful blind Latina.
All right.
I'm a little thick around the edges.
Okay.
I'm a lighter skinned Mexican, because Mexican people come in different colors, different shapes.
Right.
And I'm lighter. I'm not too brown, not too caramel, more lighter.
Okay.
I have long hair. I have my hair in a slick back ponytail right now, low ponytail.
Okay.
My hair is almost to my waist.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, that's long. I have thin lips. I have a piercing above my lip. And I have tattoos. I have some flower tattoos on both arms. I have a tattoo on each leg. I have tattoos on my back. And yeah. Okay. Look, you painted a picture. I see it. I'm visualizing. Yeah, have you mean? So,
okay. So, I have so many questions about what happened. So I want to kind of take it step by step, if you don't mind. I don't mind that. I'm an open book. Okay. So I know because of what happened and the nature of the drive-by, and especially now that we're dealing with a lot of gun violence and stuff like that in the country, what is your stance when it comes to gun violence and the way that it's really kind of spiraling out of control in the country right now? Honestly, it upsets me because it's so easy for anybody to get their hands on guns. Yeah. Anybody. There's not that many restrictions. They don't do their research. Honestly, I feel like it's harder to get your license to drive than what it is to get a gun. Yeah. And I feel like so many lives have been lost. So many innocent people have paid for the government not doing nothing. Honestly, because at the end of the day, it falls on their laps. Yeah. Like for me, for example, I was out partying, and nobody should have that thought in their head, like, oh, I need to go home because I might get shot, or I can't go shopping because I might get shot, or I can't go to school even, like it would just happen in Texas, because I might get shot. That's an ugly thought, but it's our sad reality, because that's how it is nowadays. Yeah. And if you look back, and it was funny how you started to name some of the different places. I mean, supermarkets, churches, like you said, schools, yes. Even some of the parks. Some of the places where we should feel the safest. Parks. Yeah, it's getting to the point to where there really is no safety. I really think. No, there's not. Like, I mean, as adults, you're getting ready. You're gonna go to a club. Something could happen. A fight can break out. Right. You expect things like that at a club or a bar, but come on, at church, at school, at a concert, like things are it's ridiculously out of control. Right. Ridiculously out of control, and fortunately for me, I'm here to tell my story. Right. But unfortunate for other people, they got robbed of that opportunity.
So that's why I feel like I'm not too much of a religious person, but I do believe, in Jesus himself.
Right.
And I believe that I have a purpose here. I believe that what happened to me for a reason, maybe to teach somebody a lesson around me or in my family, maybe myself, to open my eyes to the bigger picture about life. Because honestly, after losing my sight, this has humbled me. I'm a completely different person. My train of thought, everything about me changed from then to now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I wouldn't be who I am if I wouldn't have gone through what I went through.
Amen. So have they had any leads, or did they ever catch who actually did it, or?
Nothing. And let me tell you that sad truth, okay? So because I lost my sight, the detective said that if they were to catch somebody, I would not be able to point them out in a lineup. And the other people that were with me were unreliable witnesses because they were drinking, because we were all drunk. So literally the case was closed like within a month. I wasn't even out the hospital yet when they had closed the case. So I've just never looked into it because, like, I tell my mom and I tell my husband and I tell my kids, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to sit here and think, where are they? Who did this? Why did they do this? I came to terms with it, and I feel like, what's done is done, and, karma will come back, or God himself will deal with it. I don't have to.
Amen. And it's amazing how things work like that. It takes a really strong person to be able to just say, okay, you know what? I know that destiny is going to be able to take care of and tie up all the loose ends that need to be tied up, with all
exactly.
So
yeah. But it wasn't easy. In the beginning, I questioned it, like, why me? I'm only 18. Like, what did I do so bad? But, like I said, it's been 15 years. I've grown, I've matured. So I think of it differently. I accepted it. So now I just move forward.
Right.
And this is me. That's what I tell people. Like, this is me. Like, because my mom, I feel like it's harder for her. There's 8 of us, and I'm the second to the last, so I'm the baby of the girl. So my mom's always like, what if one day you can get your eyes, or what if one day, this, and I tell her, like, Mom, I can't live on what ifs. Like, this is me. Who I was before was who I was before, but that person died. This is me. This is who I am.
There you go.
You
I just want you to know you are really speaking to my soul right now. I just want you to know that. And because I feel like you're speaking to me, I really feel like there's so many other people that you can speak to. So have you ever thought about doing motivational speaking?
I have, and actually, a few years back, I went to the Department of Rehabilitation, and I had a teacher who was teaching me, like, about voiceover, because I didn't know anything. For a lot of years, I didn't have no training. To this day, I haven't even had mobility training. And he told me, like, you have a strong testimony, like, the way you take things, the way you're so accepting of things. He's like, you've never thought about going to speak at schools or, at events? And I was like, no, actually, no, I never thought about it, because I didn't think what I had to say was important. Like, I've even told, some of the ladies that I've met on TikTok, like, they tell me, you're an inspiration, we look up to you. And I think of myself like, wow, I just thought I was like any other person off the block. Because when it's you living it, you don't see how strong you are. You don't see, like, wow, your life is really not normal. You make it normal. We live it as normal as possible. And like how you said, you're completely blind, so you can relate.
Right.
To what I'm saying, to us, life is normal. Getting up and making our coffee or tea or whatever it is normal to us. But the way other people see us do it's like, wow, they're strong, they're independent, they can do it. But like I said, you don't realize it until someone else points it out to you.
Yeah, and it's wild because I'm listening to your story and it's reminding me so much of my story. And it's really, like you said, I have this bad habit of my first instinct is to say, oh, that's no big deal, or like you said, oh, you made your bed this morning, whatever, But then I'm having to learn to say, one, those are great feats. And 2, when somebody gives you a compliment, Dominic, there's nothing wrong with accepting it and saying thank you. You are an inspiration to many, and I believe that you are as well. So definitely,
thank you.
Look, I'm pushing you, physically pushing you. My arms are in a pushing motion as I push you out there to be a motivational speaker.
Thank you. You're not the first person that's told me that, so I'm really gonna take that into consideration, because I feel like even with my ladies, I'm part of Beautiful Blind Latinas on TikTok, and even with them, like they're visually impaired, so they're going through their own fights, their own struggles, and when they tell me like, you inspire us, the way you take care of your kids, the way you just continue with life. I have so many reasons to give up on life, so many reasons to just be like, you know what, I'm throwing in the towel, that's it, forget it. But I'm like, why? Heck no. This is my life. You only have one to live. You might as well live it to the fullest, however it makes you happy.
That's right. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because you are a part of a little group called Beautiful Blind Latinas. So,
yes, sir.
Can you give me a little bit of information, like how you guys got started and just where you guys plan to go from here?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so one day, I'm just kidding. So Laura actually had the idea. She's part of another group called the Sisterhood of the Traveling Canes, and she's seen how that group was helping her, like a support group, just mingling with other people that are going through what you're going through. Right. Because as much as people around you say, oh, I know what you're going through, I know how it feels, no, they don't. If somebody's not literally in your shoes, they don't know what you're going through. They can't know as much as they want to understand what we go through. So she decided, I should do a group on the side, for the Latina women out there who are visually impaired, because honestly, in the Hispanic community, it's hard to be disabled, because you're more like an embarrassment to your family. You're more like a hush, keep this on the low, let's not talk about it type of subject. Okay. So, being able to be open about it, in this group with these other Latina women that are going through the same thing, where you don't have to pretend like everything's okay. If you stubbed your toe and you're mad about it because you chipped your toenail, you could go on there and be like, girl, I messed up my pedicure, and they understand, they understand, they know the feeling, so, they actually, I got mixed up. Laura actually shouted to me on TikTok and was like, hey, I've been following you, like a support group for visually impaired and blind women, would you be interested? And I was like, heck yeah. So we downloaded the WhatsApp app and we started talking, and more girls started joining, and it became like a real connection with people. We have not met in person through the WhatsApp and on the phone and on TikTok, but the connection is so strong with these women. Yeah. They can relate. I can relate to them. They understand me. I understand them, and it's really, openly.
Yeah, it's amazing to me, the connections you can make with people.
So I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing to me, the connections you can make with people just by having that common.
That is absolutely true, because
Are you
just to be able to relate, like with you, I didn't know you were completely blind, because most people that I've met or came across on TikTok are visually impaired. So I know a lot of people say, blindness is a spectrum, but to me it's a difference, being completely blind and being visually impaired.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
When you said, yes, to me it's a difference, but I feel because we are on the other side, what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like you understand me completely, because people think like, oh, you just see dark. I don't just see dark, I don't just see blackness all day, I don't see light or nothing like that, but for whatever reason, sometimes like I see like grayish, Sometimes I see just darkness black, but it's not how people think. And I feel like you understand me, just like when I met Daniel, which is another member of the Blind Titans. When I heard his story, I'm like, wow, because he went through what I went through around the same age and everything. So you never really know who is out there until you put yourself out there.
Right. Yeah, it's wild. Hold on a second. Those who are going through the same exact struggle that you are. And I think in many ways, regardless of if you meet with them in person or if it's just over the phone or whatever the case may be, it's, I think at some point in time, and not even just in our blind community, at some point in time, you start to recognize that there's power in being able to congregate with those who have a similar story or get exactly what it is, and it doesn't have to be explained to them. It's nice. It's nice to have, those people say, I get it, or I want to get it, and that's all well and good. But it's just something about walking that path, walking that mile. Yeah.
Absolutely. For example, I have family members, because I'm the only blind person in my family. So I have family members that have told me, like, oh, Montses, I turned all the lights off in my house, and I try to walk around with my eyes closed to see what you're going through. But I get it. Okay, you guys understand. But what happened as soon as you stubbed your toe? What happened as soon as you bumped into something? You turned the light on, right? You opened your eyes. Well, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is what it is. If I trip, if I fall, if I bump into something, if I spill something, that's my reality.
Yeah.
I can't turn the light on. I can't just open my eyes, because the bullet damaged my eyes so bad that I had both my eyes removed. And I am the type of Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles type of blind person, not being offensive or anything, but I do always have my dark shades because I only have a prosthetic on my left side and not my right side, because the bullet damaged so much that I still have to have like a reconstructive surgery to reconstruct my eye socket, to fix my eyelids, just so I can get a prosthetic on that side.
Oh man.
So I always have my glasses on, right? For example, right now I have my dark shades, just like Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles, No matter, day or night, in or out the house, or, at the store, I always have my shades on. I try to buy cute ones. I have red ones. I have lavender ones, burgundy, but I do always have my glasses. And I've been asked about that on TikTok, like, what's up with the shades? And like I said, I am that blind person. And I am that blind person that fits the stigma, how they say, with the dark shades on, and my cane, because I do use my cane.
Right. Wow. Well, I definitely wanted to ask you about this. I myself am not a parent, but I'm always so intrigued with blind parents and just how they go through like the daily parent stuff that you have to go through. And it's funny because I do have relatives and people around me that are like, oh, blind people will never be able to do this, or they shouldn't be able to do this. And so as some of my friends are always like, Dominic, you gotta have a kid, there's always that voice in the back of my head that's like, would I be able to physically, financially, and emotionally take care of a child? So, speaking to somebody who has kids and is total, So what are some of the myths that a lot of people say about blind parents that really aren't true?
Okay, let me say this. This is just my opinion, but from the beginning, nobody's ever ready to be a parent. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter your situation. It doesn't matter your disability. Nobody is ready for that job until you're there. And you learn yourself as a parent while you're taking care of your child. You're growing together. You're learning together, because every child is different. I have 5 kids of my own, and every single one of them was different. From delivery to taking care of them to bringing them up, their personalities, is different. And I feel sometimes us disabled parents are even better than some sighted parents, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because I know of some people who are perfectly fine, and did not take care of their kids. Were not there for their kids. And me, when I got pregnant with my son a year after I got shot. Not even a complete year. So my family felt like, oh no, you're not ready for a baby. You just lost your sight. You're not going to know how to do this. You should just have an abortion. I was like, wait a minute. No. This is what I've always wanted. If God gave me this child now, after I lost my sight, is for a reason. And I kept my baby, and my son is now 14 years old. Okay. And he's perfectly fine, and I took care of him. We, like I said, we do things our own way, but we get it done. Other parents hold their babies, feed them with their bottle, and they're watching them as they eat. I hold my baby's bottle, because I have a 7-month-old, to his mouth with my fingers, with my index finger and my thumb, holding the bottle up to feel him sucking on the milk, because you can feel the bottle, move. When he's done, he'll push it out. out, with his tongue. So I'll feel that. So like I said, us blind parents can do anything like any other parent can, just in our own way. I have one daughter and I have 4 boys. My boys have long hair. Well, had. My 10-year-old had a long 14-inch ponytail when he cut his hair. My 3-year-old right now has long hair to his waist. And I braid it. I braid their hair. My daughter, she's 21 now, but when she was a little girl, I braided her hair for school every day in different styles, not just a ponytail, not just a braid, different styles. Every day my daughter wore a different hairstyle to school because I taught myself.
Right. Wow.
I memorized their clothes. I wash, I dry, I fold, I put away. I can tell by the size of the shirt or the shorts, whose clothes it is. We can do anything, we can do anything you put your mind to. Like I said, we just do it different.
Yeah, and shout out goes out to your husband. Well, number one, for sticking through all of this with you from day one, and even now to being a supportive spouse and husband and father and all of that. So shout out goes out to him.
Yes, thank you. And not only that, because this man, wow, he's came a long way. When I met him, we were so young. When I got shot, we were only together for 3 years. Like, that was his time to run. Boy, run. It's still fresh, it's still new. And no, he stuck around. He gave me kids. After I lost my sight, we had 4 boys. After I lost my sight, he's still here with me. He learned how to cook. He learned how to dye my hair. In the beginning, he helped me how to learn to straighten my hair. Now I do it by myself, but he's the one that taught me. Like, he knows my style of clothes when we go shopping. And he even tells me, like, babe, I'll learn how to polish your nails. And I'm like, no, okay, that's too much. I can just go get that done. But the fact that he wants to learn, because I've spoken to other women that are like, oh, I can't even pull my cane out around my husband because he's like, oh, put that away, you don't need that, or this or that. And I feel like, not my husband. My husband accepts me for who I am. Amen. He's like, babe, this is you do you.
Amen.
So
well,
I love that man for that.
Well, that's what's up. So now we come to that part of the interview where I give you the opportunity to really just ask me whatever is on your mind, and I'm gonna, like you said earlier, be an open book and tell you whatever you want to know. So
the tables turn.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tom, if you don't mind me asking, how did you lose your sight?
So I actually was a juvenile diabetic. When I want to say about the age of 8 or 9. Now, for the majority of my younger years, my mom was really on top of it. Shots, food, meals, doctor's appointment was on it. Well, around the age of 15, my mom ended up getting pregnant. And so, although she didn't just throw me to the wolves, a lot of her attention at that time had to go on the newborn. And so I felt like that was my opportunity to really just cut loose and live fancy free, because I never wanted the diabetes. So there were long periods of time, no medicine, no doctor's appointments, just living by the seat of my pants. And ultimately, I had this really, really good bounce back factor where, I might get sick, and then if I took some medicine or rushed to the doctor, within minutes, I was back to where I needed to be at. So I had this sense of feeling invincible. Well, after years and years and years of doing this to my body, in my mid-20s, it started to fall apart. I ended up going into kidney failure. I ended up getting congestive heart failure. And then I also ended up losing the sight. And so, even though I was able to get a transplant to where I didn't have to do dialysis anymore because for the kidney failure, I didn't.
Oh, that's good.
And I didn't have to do shots and stuff like that for the diabetes because I ended up getting a pancreas. Unfortunately, I had lost the sight by that point. In many ways though, and this is why I was saying earlier that I feel like I'm looking at a parallel story of mine, because when I hear a lot of people say, that was the worst thing that ever could have happened to me. My life is over. To be honest with you, I feel like me losing my sight was one of the best things that ever happened to me. The Dominic, the Dominic that you're talking to now would not exist. He would not exist.
Thank you.
It took something so drastic like that for me to change my mentality, for me to change my view of the world, for me to change my path and all of that. So, when you hear those TikToks that are like, oh, well, what would you do if you could go back and change it all? I wouldn't change a thing.
Thank you.
I wouldn't change a thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Dom. You took the words right out of my mouth, because you know what? I feel like there's people like us, strong spirited people, that sometimes unfortunately need a strong lesson.
And that's me.
Because I feel like I before losing my sight, I've gone through things. Not enough to change me, though. I was still out there wilding, being an 18-year-old that thought she was invincible, untouchable, not me, couldn't be me, wouldn't be me type of mentality. Now I know, yes, I can. It could be me. It has been me, and it will be me. So I agree with you 100%. Me losing my sight has made me who I am. I feel like I'm a better person. I'm a better mom. I'm a better wife. I'm a better sister, daughter. And I wouldn't change it either. I would love to see my kids. I would, that's it. But I wouldn't change anything else. But because I when you told me you were completely blind, I didn't know how. And I understand the whole dialysis things as well, because I have a cousin that was on dialysis, and she had a kidney transplant, and now she's living her best life. My best friend has been on dialysis since she was 18, so I know how that goes.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're doing good, and I'm glad, not that you lost your sight, but that you are who you are. We were able to cross paths for a reason, because I'm that type of person that I believe in that everything happens for a reason. Like, I feel like me and you met, we crossed paths, we're talking, we're having this conversation for something. Amen. Because of something.
Amen. Oh man, this was a really good talk, I have to say. So definitely thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. I was waiting. I've seen your other podcast, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I love his interviews. And I'm like, when is it gonna be my turn? So I'm glad we had this opportunity. And thank you again for everything.
No problem. So for those who are watching, if they want to follow you or go check you out, how would they get in contact with you?
You guys can find me on Instagram, TikTok, or Snapchat under Montses, MONTSE_1_sweet_B.
Well, that's what's up. Oh, and if there are any other blind Latinas out there, is there any way for them to get in contact with you guys for the Beautiful Blind Latinas?
Yes, if there's any other Beautiful Blind Latinas que quieren un grupo de apoyo, please reach out to us. You can find us on TikTok under Latina Mom VIP, Raquel VIP 22, myself, Montses B. You can reach out to Blind Catholic Girl. There's more of us. I just don't know all their names off the top of my head, but reach out. You can reach out to the Blind Titans. They will reroute you guys to us. The Sisterhoods, they will reroute you guys to us. We are here. Estamos aquí. Somos poderosas y nada nos puede vencer, ciegas o no. We are strong women. Amen. And we're here to support. So reach out.
Amen. Well, you guys, that draws us to a close. Thank you again for coming on This Is Us.
And support us. Look out for us. We're here as blind people and visually impaired. So thanks, Dom, for everything.
No problem. So, all right, guys, we'll be talking to you later.